Hi there, welcome back to the dojo. It's been a while. If you've been following the channel, you'll have seen there have been a few Only Death Can Save Us production videos. I will have a couple more of bits and pieces and sort of like a debrief of where I've been with the campaign. All's gone really well. Thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for backing the campaign, and thank you for subscribing to the channel. Whenever you can. There's been a slow growth, but it's been growth. Thank you. So on to the next project. Before I go to Only Death Can Save Us Book 2, which will be later on in this year, I'm teaming up with Joe Fulton, Eric Weathers and Inkspots to produce that's Inkspots will be the colorist, or obviously Eric Weathers will be the letterer, the writer Joe Fulton, and publisher. And we're producing a book called The Outliers, and it's the first of a set of books. You can find out much more about how that works, the writing process, the editorial aspects, the underpinning of the whole story and the world that it resides in. If you go to Joe Fulton's channel, there's Fulton Land, and I'll put a link in the description for you. So what you can see here is the first part of our production. So these videos will be, I suppose, a roadmap and effectively a production diary of how Outliers goes from my perspective, from the artist's perspective. The first thing we decided, or Joe wanted us to do, was put together turnarounds so that we could have some kind of a Bible, as it were, for the way that the characters looked. At least in their first iteration, they may well have iterations over the story, and of course we'll have to revisit the Bible to do that, and get the turnarounds done for those particular looks. So what I thought I'd take you through here is flick through the first 3 turnarounds that have been available. There's another 2 turnarounds that are available very soon. And then there'll be more following on, and then I'll be starting on pages, and you'll be able to see some pages as well. I also have a little bit of rostrum camera recording of me inking this turnaround, which is the Saint, and also another turnaround, which is the next one to be shown, and I can't talk to you about it yet. So what I thought I'd do is just flick through the production of it, basically the iterations that happened before I got to the final turnaround. So these were discussions I had with Joe as the writer and editor, and how those discussions turned into the final thing. And like I say, there will be some screen capture as well of some of this stuff. Or at least some capture of me doing traditional links. That's something else that's changed as well. I've decided I'm doing traditional digital pencils because I like the control of that. But then I'm pumping them out, and I'll show you the production process on that. I'm putting those out to Bristol paper, blue line, and then inking traditionally over the top, which is a little bit of a left turn for me, but it's something we both wanted to do. I wanted to see how it would change my art, and if there's any way that I could add more energy and life into my art, which I feel I'm getting somewhere with, but I just thought maybe it would be something else to do and see if I could do that. And also Joe was very keen on traditional real physical pieces of art for the book, at least for the turnarounds anyway. So let's see where that goes. So first things first, let's get into the digital aspect of this and the pencil side of it. So the first thing we did was put together some sketches. So he gave me a bio sort of written out, and we put together some sketch work for that. And so this is the Saint, which is he's the primary character. You'll see the opening world. The world will open up in front of you as far as the book and the story is concerned through his eyes. But there are so many other characters that are added to it. So I suppose it's kind of like having an Avengers story seen through the eyes of Iron Man or Captain America, which is pretty much the way they used to do it. They kind of focused on the one character, usually the leader. So as you can see, this is a sketchy version. We played with different designs. So we had those stripes on top. We had a halo. The initial brief was to have something a little sort of lucha libre about it, because a lot of these costumes, as you'll find out from the story when you do get to read it, their initial versions are, a lot of them are homemade, or at least they're made in a more simple way until the story evolves more. I can't really say too much about that. So you can see how we played with different designs there, and we wanted to give this guy a sort of a Superman that kind of iconic feel to him. He is the best of them, as it were. We also had a character called Misperception. Now I started off simply with a sketch with her because I know there was something about her, because it's magic based, that it was all about the way that she portrayed herself, she presented herself, and I wanted it to be quite sort of flamboyant, and that's where the split cloak at the back comes from, the trails and what have you. So that came together really well, and we kind of jumped on that straight away as soon as it came to me. Like, basically Joe was on board immediately with that look. And then the last one we've got is Rough Cut, who is a street level sort of, I'm not sure if you'd call him a bad guy or not. I'll find out more when I see the writing. But I think I've got that kind of feel to him. Sort of a Deathstroke kind of character, I suppose. Maybe nicer than that. I don't know. I haven't seen the story yet. All I've got is the bio. So he Joe could take him anyway. Anyway, the whole point being is that he's kind of an engineer, and he's technically minded, and he has the ability to create these gloves that you see on him and the armor. But obviously he's also got to use the things around him, which is why he's got the hockey mask on and what have you. And we wanted to give him that kind of almost Punisher feel, but with the tech. So that's why I'm saying he's kind of like, he's sort of, is he bad, is he good, not quite sure, but we'll find out as the book goes on. And again, that I started off with that sketch, so you can see got a hockey mask, a reference there. So I built up from the anatomy there and just parked it, and again the design kind of fell in, it kind of came together, and then we had a discussion about the backpack, which is where the energy comes from for his blades, and how that would work. And then in the final turnarounds, also the way his weapons were strapped to his legs. So there was a lot of conversation going on about that. So if I now move to the final turnarounds, you can see that they've been penciled to a higher degree. There's not a lot to say really. You can see that it's just basically they've been worked up. We've taken those decisions about the costumes and about the way people look, but there was also decisions about sort of the size of the physical size of these people. So you can see this guy's got a good body. He's obviously very cut, but not overly. He's not like big and bulky. That's left to other characters, which you'll find out more about as I show more of these turnarounds. So there's the final one for the Saint. Here's the final one for Rough Cut, which I was really pleased with. We really liked where the backpack went and the gauntlets, and how he looked. He looked tough. There's something about him that makes him look tough, and he's got that kind of put the haircut, and he's got that kind of classic Punisher haircut as well. And then Misperception came out. This woman is gorgeous. That was what he was trying. That was his description to me. Was make her gorgeous, but she's thick. She's solid. She's sort of like a Gina Carano kind of character, I suppose. As far as the physical aspects of her, so there are some other female characters on the way of varying sizes, but this woman had to be sort of fuller than full. She was this glorious magic womanhood, I suppose we could call it. So as you can see, the flowing cape, split cape, and just everything about her is kind of, right the way down to the V cut. But she's fully clothed, but it's accentuating her figure. So there's, she's using her gender, her sex, whatever it is. But at the same time, she's a powerful force. So I was quite pleased with those in the end. And then you can see what I was talking about earlier is I converted these to blue line so that I could print these out onto Bristol board, and then as you can see there, and then ink them up. There's the last one, misperception. So you can see them over here. I've got them next to, so I've got my board set up and the digital set up as well. And so there's the Saint. There's a rough cut, and there's misperception. And really pleased with the way they came out. It's great. So what I've got is I'm kind of building on the things that I've learned from other comic book artists, the classic comic book artists. So if you look back in the day, people like Steranko and Kirby and what have you, they started putting photocopies of photography into their work and different bits and pieces, and basically using the stuff around them, using the medium, thinking outside of just pencil and brush on a page. But I'm also trying to think outside of just digital tools as well. So this is truly mixed media. I'm able to use all the advantages I can gain from, solid penciling, not having to photocopy stuff and put stuff on my light box constantly, tracing off and what have you, which is a normal process for penciling pages, and get it exactly the way I want it digitally. Then print it out and get the life and the energy from the brush strokes that I get from the brush pens that I use to ink with, and then obviously I can use whiteout and all kinds of things to help me there, and then scan the thing back in. And if I've got some final flourishes that I want to get done, or there's just a fix that I want to put in that I couldn't see or couldn't do in the real world, then I can do it finally in the digital aspect of it, and get that sent off to the colorist. So that's where we are right now. These are the first three. I've got another couple to show very soon, and you'll be able to see me regularly on Fulton Land with Joe on a Thursday. I think it's at 10 o'clock. Something like that. I think it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock Pacific time, I think it is. But not 100% sure. So, look over on Joe's channel as Fulton Land, and also over on the Outliers channel and over on YouTube. And there'll be more and more content coming very soon about the Outliers universe, about the Outliers book, and about the production process that we're going through. So I'm going to leave this video here. What I'll do is I'll do another one where I'm showing the live action, as it were, the process of me inking up the turnarounds. Probably what I'll do is I'll leave that until I've got 2 more turnarounds to show, which I'll show in this format. But obviously, by watching this, you should sort of understand where we're coming from and how the production process is working. And so I'll be showing another couple, and then I'll show the actual brushwork. Probably just speed it up a little bit so you can see how it came together. So that's it for me now. As I suggested at the start of the video, I will be back with a little bit more Only Death Can Save Us information about the production process, but also, like I say, a debrief of how the campaign went. And then there'll be more artwork coming, and more coming about Only Death Can Save Us later on in the year. Little bits and pieces will be coming out soon. I've got a 7-page original backup strip about war, the one of the horsemen from Only Death Can Save Us, and that is in Arrow Comics anthology. Arrow Comics 4.0, they're back again, and they've invited me to be part of what they're doing, and that's brilliant. I'm totally up for that. Love the idea of that. So the first thing I did for them was to give them the 7-pager. Also, there's the Continuum, that's from Terraform Comics, and they're reprinting the eight-page preview of Only Death Can Save Us, so people can get a taste of that, other people can get a taster of that. And of course, the book is still up and available on Indiegogo right at the moment, in demand. And thank you to everyone who's backed and got a copy. I've had some fantastic responses, and hopefully there'll be some official reviews soon as well. So that's all from me for this video. I'll be back again, like I say, with more production videos again soon on Outliers, and also some information about Only Death Can Save Us too. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Russ Leach. I am the Comic Book Black Belt. I'll see you again for another video real soon. Cheers. Bye bye. Thanks for watching Comic Book Black Belt. If you've enjoyed the content from this video, please like, share or subscribe, and come over and follow me on Twitter. It's been great having you in the dojo. See you again soon.